Weekend Express. It's a chilly morning here in Nairobi, Kenya's capital. Thank you so much for making time to be with us here on Weekend Express. My name is Zinzi Kibiku. In our second hour of today's show, today is World Safety Day. Do you know how to perform, for example, CPR? What do we do at home in regards to any emergencies? We'll get to learn a lot of that later on from around 9 a.m. So I hope you stick with us. But first, let us bring you up to speed with stories making headlines. Now, in the wake of increased public uproar, Energy Cabinet Secretary Charles Keter has directed the Energy Regulatory Commission to rationalize power tariffs to stave off inconsistency. Now, the announcement came even as Keter declared a possible reduction of power bills due to the ongoing rains. Francis Ontomwa reports.
Nothing has generated as much controversy lately as the vexing discussion on power tariffs in Kenya. After postponing a meeting with a parliamentary committee last week, Energy Cabinet Secretary Charles Keter was leading his delegation to explain to Kenyans why power bills have taken an upward trajectory.
The metering system of KPLC over the past has been on estimation, and they were doing that for about 60%. They introduced the new system, was it July? Can you be specific? July, August. So it's just by coincidence that the elections were in August, isn't it? So it has nothing to do with the election.
Even as Keter and his team set out to tell their side of the story, the meeting still shied away from explaining the annual report for the year ending June 2017 that opened the lid on the whopping 10.1 billion said to have been used on fuel. This is the amount the report said will be passed on to consumers.
Within the next 2 weeks, we will conclude what the agents are sorting out for us. And therefore, at that point, we will then get the aggregate number of customers that were affected and the total value of the transactions that they transacted.
Even aside from the sticky issues, there was some relieving announcement. The ongoing rains across the country, the ministry says, should lower down the cost of generating power.
For the whole of last year, the rainfall was a bit down. It pushed the FCC to almost 5 shillings and 35 cents. But right now, with the rain, we will experience the cost of power coming down in terms of that one element of FCC.
Kenya's electricity supply structure is of single buyer model, with all generators selling in bulk to Kenya Power. What has remained firmly on the spotlight is the constitutional interpretation of this existence. The fourth scheduled paragraph 8E of the Constitution offers that electricity and energy regulation is a county function and not national governments.
Even if we allowed another operator to come, to have to invest a duplicated system so that he can be able to sell electricity as an alternative to Kenya Power would be very costly.
Auditor General Edward Ouko has already kicked off investigations into the matter. Eyes remain firmly on the Energy Regulatory Commission on how they'll be beginning the process of harmonizing power tariffs here in the country. But even so, questions still abound on the inconsistencies that have been found both within the prepaid and the postpaid arrangements. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News, Nairobi.
The body of the late Kenneth Matiba was cremated as per his wishes. The late Matiba joins a list of other prominent personalities who are also cremated, including Professor Wangari Maathai. Alpha Slagat has the details.
After 2 memorial services and accompanying state functions, the body of the late Kenneth Matiba has been cremated in fulfilling Matiba's will, as was communicated to his family 25 years ago. At around 2:40 p.m., family and close friends left Lee Funeral Home and made their way to Langata Cemetery, where the cremation exercise had been scheduled to take place. Meanwhile, the cremation drew mixed reactions, even as Nairobi County's health executive affirms that cremation is slowly gaining acceptance.
It is increasing, although it's very, very low. It's only, we do 10 a month, which is very low.
A cremation exercise takes between 4 to 6 hours, and should a family opt to take this route, they are required to open a file at the city mortuary at least 24 hours prior, then pay 16,800 shillings to facilitate the exercise. It is a part that Matiba, who died aged 85, took and has left behind a widow, Edith Gitau Matiba, 5 children and 7 grandchildren. The final journey of the late Kenneth Matiba has happened today with the cremation of his body at Langata Crematorium. Despite years of health problems and political subjugation, Matiba would be remembered as the second liberation hero. Alphas Lagat, KTN News.
In some countries like Canada and the United Kingdom, health insurance is provided by the state as a right, just like police service, public education, or even street lighting. Kenya is yet to get there, but efforts have been made towards that goal, as Dr. Masikori reports.
I meet Emily Karungo, an ordinary Kenyan citizen. Hers is a modest living.
I'm a mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm a teacher by profession. I head a school called PCA Metahato Primary School.
The Karungos' lives changed one day when their last-born daughter came home with an unusual swelling.
The growth was behind the ear. It was growing from the inside of the ear.
The family sought a doctor's opinion, never thinking much about it until...
When the doctor examined her, he recommended that that growth needed some surgery in a theater, in the major theater, and therefore she had to be admitted.
It is every parent's wish that their loved one gets the best of care, money not being a hindrance. This contributes to a family spending out-of-pocket cash in search of health services. The Karungos were no exception.
She was admitted there, and the surgery was carried out. It was a surgery that took 3 hours. So after surgery, she was taken to the ward. So the doctor was with her for 1 week.
Up to this point, the family had not had to pay anything yet. On being discharged, they were given a bill that they couldn't meet at that point.
We were told that the bill was 133,000 Kenya shillings. And as you know that no one prepares for sickness, now we were badly off.
The National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, is the national social health insurer that receives a predetermined gazetted statutory deduction from every person in formal employment whose membership is mandatory. This, however, does not deter one from having a private provider. As a teacher, Emily had another private medical insurance provider, but the family decided to call on NHIF.
We were very down, and then we remembered we are contributors to the NHIF, and I called NHIF people from their office and told them the problem I was going through. So I requested them that they assist me.
Emily Karungo is one of the estimated 7 million principal members of NHIF whose dependents, that is, spouse and children, make up almost 28 million beneficiaries. Since that time, Emily's perception of the national health insurer changed.
We were gradually happy. We were very happy, extremely happy. So from there, we have been telling people that they should join NHIF.
The 52-year-old NHIF has over the last 2 years been making strides to improve the package benefits to its members, from regular inpatient and outpatient hospital visits to specialized services like dialysis, cancer treatment, and all surgical procedures. The Karungos benefited from these improvements, their daughter's surgical procedure being fully paid for, to their surprise.
I was not taken round. I was told to tell them the hospital where my child is. Then from there, I was told to go to the cash office. About 20 to 25 minutes, or maybe on the higher side, 30 minutes. And then we were told the child was cleared.
Apart from embracing technology like mobile and online accessibility, NHIF has 63 fully fledged branches 35 satellite offices, service points at most district hospitals countrywide, and presence in every Huduma center to make accessibility to their services easier. With many Kenyans incurring catastrophic out-of-pocket expenditure for medical reasons, a medical insurance cover that comes through when one most needs it is a welcome relief for many. Dr. Mercy Korir for KTN News from Githunguri, Kiambu County.
And away from the